What's going on, people? Today, I am making an Eminem album tier list. This is going to be interesting. As you guys know, I am a huge Eminem fan, so I figured that um get some different kind of content out. Make you guys a video about an Eminem tier list. I guess we're gonna be ranking every single album. Um I would assume. Oh God, every song? Every song? No, I don't want every song. Cause I don't mm, you know what? I'll just do every album, not every song. Go back. Go back. Apologies, everyone. Sorry for taking a little bit of time. Okay. Search it. Search for it. Come on. It's taking so long. This website's annoying. Hello. There we go. Every Eminem album. Bet. I'll do album and then I will do songs. I'm gonna do it in two separate videos. Oh no. First of all, I already don't like this tier because Relapse actually what belongs here, personally, in my point of view. Revival. Okay. So let me put this in to present mode, and then we will get started. Presentation mode. All right. So probably do this with Roland at some undisclosed point, but okay. So I'm gonna go in order. Infinite, 1997. Well, to be honest, it's very, very grungy, and it's not really. It's okay. Like, it's not the best thing ever. So I kind of understand why many people don't rank it as high. But I do think that the song Infinite is actually, really damn good. Overall though, it's not M's best work. I'm gonna put it in C tier. Now for the Slim Shady LP, I mean, come on. I still don't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck. Guilty Conscience, the real Slim Shady. I mean, you can't go wrong. The shit's solid A tier, bro. Like there's not even any doubt about that. I think like I might even put it in like low S tier because of the impact that it had on the culture as a whole. Because I don't think. Sorry, I'm taking a drink of water. I don't think that anybody will truly understand. And I wasn't alive, but I've talked to hip hop heads who have said that the impact that the Slim Shady LP had back in 1999 was something that they'll never be able that will never be replicated ever. And I think that's a special thing, man. I I really truly do think that there is something special about the Slim Shady LP. It's not even personally, I don't even think it's M's best album in terms of musical. Like I really do not think that. I think that it's a very it's a step above Infinite in terms of musically, but I put it in S tier simply due to the impact. Now, the Marshall Mathers LP1 is a classic, but I think personally that it's not as um it's not as impactful as the Slim Shady LP. It's better musically. It has Kim on it. The way I am. Uh, is Amityville on that one or on the Slim Shady LP? Um, Criminal's one of my favorite Eminem songs ever. Um, and I think that the overall narrative that starts on the Marshall Mathers LP is something that cannot be overlooked. But listen, I don't even care because personally, I think that the Eminem show is like an all-time great album. Till I Collapse, um, you know, Sane, Goodbye to Hollywood, Sing for the Moment, Soldier, My Dad Has Gone Crazy. I mean, come on, there's so many classic songs. It's the fucking Eminem show. It is possibly the greatest, or it's at least, you cannot deny it is at least in the top 5 musical albums of all time. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And even though I have an okay relationship, or not even an okay, great now, I have a great relationship with my mother, cleaning out my closet's still a fucking bop. And like, I don't care what anybody says. It's a fucking banger, bro. Which is why, you know what? I gotta put Encore in B, if I'm being honest with you. So there's some terrible fucking songs on this album. Like some fucking garbage ass songs. Puke, Big Weenie. Like those shits did not need to be in there. But there's there's a couple of okay songs. Yellow Brick Road, Love You More, Crazy in Love. Those are actually some okay songs. And then there's still, when M on this album is great, he's really, really good. I mean, Mosh, Just Lose It, When I'm Gone, like Toy Soldiers, Mockingbird. There's still some better songs on this album. And I think personally, and I'll get into this more when I make my song tier list. I personally believe that Fack is probably the funniest song that M has ever made, and it's also the most batshit insane crazy shit that he has ever done. So I don't think the Encore is perfect. If we're ranking these out of 10, 6, 6.5, 9, 9, 9. So I'll try to rank them by 10 after every single album. So after Encore came out in 2004, the year that my brother was born, Eminem went on a little bit of a hiatus. He didn't drop music until he put out Relapse, which I personally put above the Eminem show. I think it's because, first of all, I'm a little biased because it's my first ever Eminem album that I ever listened to. But when you're taken into the start of the album, he's talking to, one would assume, his, rehab doctor. And, the doctor's telling him that he has nothing to worry about in kind of a nonchalant way, right? So then we get into 3 a.m. and this is how dark the story becomes, because we get into some dark shit. We get into Hello, Same Song and Dance, Stay Wide Awake, which is fucking crazy because literally the drums on that song are supposed to sound like a heartbeat. Must Be the Ganja, Bagpipes from Baghdad, Old Time's Sake, there's dude, Crack a Bottle is a fucking bop, bro. I don't even care. Personally, the only song that I don't even vibe to, and it's not even that it's a bad song. When me and Rolo, whenever we jam at his house, most of the time we're playing Relapse is what we're playing most of the time. If we choose to listen to Eminem, it's mostly Relapse, but we always skip Drop a Bomb on him, and it's not even that it's a bad song. It's just that's one that doesn't need to be there. But M at the end of Relapse leaves the door open for Relapse 2, and I really personally think that he should do it. I really think that the way that the story... Sorry, there's a truck driving by my house. The way that he ends Relapse 1 is fucking insane. And personally, I think that he has enough tools that he could pull off doing a Relapse, that he could pull off doing, a Relapse 2. So a little more than a year after we got Relapse, we got Recovery, which is okay. I think that the thing about Recovery was it felt like it was trying to be so different from Relapse, but M kind of still sounds like he's in the Relapse mode. And I mean, there's some great songs on this album. Love the Way You Lie, No Love, Not Afraid, Cold Wind Blows, Seduction. But then there's some that... Oh, I also forgot in the great song category, Cinderella Man as well. But there's just personally some songs that I just don't vibe with. I'm not a fan of... I'm not really a fan of White Trash Party, On Fire, Bad. There are some songs that just don't vibe with me, and that's fine. I also love Talking to Myself, and I love going through changes. But yeah, I mean, it's not by any means a terrible album. It's definitely better than Encore by a pretty wide margin. I would give it a 7. By the way, Relapse is a 10. Fight me. So Rolo and I, we were in... What were we in? 7th grade when Eminem put out the Marshall Mathers LP2, and it starts out with a fucking incredible song titled Bad Guy. Oh shit, when it came to the Marshall Mathers LP, I forgot about Stan, bro. I forgot about Stan. How did I forget about Stan? Bro, Stan is one of the greatest written songs of all time. And when you start with the Marshall Mathers LP2, when you start there, it starts basically with Stan 2 because M is rapping from the point of view of Stan's little brother Matthew, and Matthew kills Matthew kills Eminem. And the crazy thing about this album is that there's not really a bad song on here. Monster featuring Rihanna once more, solid song. Love Game featuring Kendrick. Fucking Kendrick has worked with Eminem. It's a fucking banner. I really think that Survival's awesome. The only song that I don't consistently play within my playlist, like if it comes up, I will skip Desperation, and I was never really big on Berserk. Besides that, I mean, I love Baby. I love, I love So Much Better, So Far, Rhyme or Reason, Groundhog Day, Evil, Evil Twin. Like there's so many fucking, Rap God, Legacy, Beautiful Pain. There's so many great songs on this album. It's fucking like it's literally legendary. And I personally think that while it's not M's last great album, it goes downhill from here really fast. Case in point, Revival. And you want to know the thing? So I respect the Eminem fans who make a defense of Revival. And I get that, this is something that M wanted to do. It was something personal. He wanted to wrap up because it started with Relapse, then it went to Recovery, and then the third chapter in, the saga was Revival. I get that he wanted to end it, but the slog that we have to go through in order to get to the crux of the fucking album. First of all, there's not even a point. Say what you want about Relapse and say what you want about, Recovery. You're kind of getting the point of the story of both. It makes sense, right? But when it comes to Revival, it starts out really, really strong. I mean, Beyonce's vocals on Walk on Water are breathtaking. They are immaculate vocals. She sings a beautiful chorus. M raps extremely raw. There's no, drums. There's nothing. You just hear a little bit of a piano flutter. The piano intensifies in M's third verse. And then that song leads into Believe, which I think is a solid song. It's just when it came out, I wasn't used to M going trap, and he was rapping on a straight up 808 trap beat. And I mean, it's good. It's different, but it's good for him. And so I think that I think it then it goes to Chloroseptic, which is okay, but it goes on for it goes on for like way too long. A lot of songs on here did not need to be more than like did not need to be more than 3 minutes, but I guess M wanted like this. He wanted to drag it out to make it over like an hour. Cause like, if I'm being honest, the song with Kehlani, which just to say, there's only a couple of songs on this album that I hate, but Nowhere Fast is not one of those songs. I don't hate that song. I just think that it goes on for way too long. It does not need to be 4.5 minutes. When Emma's done rapping, 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the song, there's no need for any of the other fluttery bullshit. There's just no need for it. I think that, Kehlani delivers a powerful hook on that song, and she's the best part of the song. But getting back to Chloroseptic for just like a hot second, M didn't put the version with 2 Chainz onto the album. I don't know why. But yeah, there was a version that, had a verse from 2 Chainz and had a verse from Fresher on the album. And I just wanted to say that personally, I think that Heat is ass. Heat is a terrible fucking song. This man says, your booty is heavy duty like diarrhea. I'm not fucking with you. He says that shit on this album. This is the same guy who made Cleaning Out My Closet. He made these and this. He made these. He didn't lose his technical ability. It wasn't even that. It was, this album feels like a congealed mess in a rush to the finish line, because you don't know if this is supposed to be an album about Trump or if this is an album about him becoming sober, because he spends half of it going after Trump. Now, Alicia Keys, again, that song with her, I like that song. But M is done rapping 2 minutes and 30 seconds in to the song, right? And it's a 4-minute song. There's no need for that. So I just think that some of the songs were way too unnecessarily long. And I think, and I'm glad, actually, it is kind of personal, because we got the worst version of, Eminem for like, one album. I blame Rick Rubin a good part of it, because he changed Eminem in a lot of ways that were just not good for him. And I get that him and Eminem are friends, and I respect that. But Rick Rubin had he doesn't know rap music. Nothing personal to him, but he doesn't know rap music. And he literally was all over this project. And I mean, if you could, like, and the funny thing is that the crux of the album comes down to the last 3 songs, because they're very, introspective, they're personal, and In Your Head, Castle, A Rose are the best songs to me, personally, because it highlights M's mindset throughout him taking his pills to his, overdose, to him being in the hospital nearing death. And I think that it's a beautiful thing, him basically writing kind of, in essence, a goodbye note, like he says. So I think it's a very beautiful and a powerful song, and it kind of feels like a 3-part song in one. But if he had just kept it on message the whole time, it would have made a lot more sense. But then we get songs like Heat, we get songs like Tragic Endings, which there's no need for that. We hear that same shit on every single Eminem album. There was no need for, Need Me. There was no need for Bad Husband. I get it, but there's just no need for it. After that, about 8 to 9 months after that, I just entered into my senior year, and Eminem put out Kamikaze, which I think is better than Encore. The thing about this album was that it came out of nowhere, and no one was expecting it. And I think that's it's a bold marketing strategy, but when you're as big as Eminem is, I kind of respect it, because I think that he kind of was able to get away with it. The first 3 songs are pretty damn good. I mean, The Rinner is solid. Greatness is solid. Lucky You, featuring Jordan Lucas, is fucking, incredible. Stepping Stone is okay. It's a song about, D12. It's not really all. I mean, like I said, it's just, an okay song. Not Alike with Royce. Oh, I also forgot about Normal. Normal is okay. Not Alike with Royce, which, ignited the Eminem, and which ignited the end of MGK's career. I like the second part better than the first part. I thought it was pretty decent. The title song itself, Kamikaze, wasn't all that bad. Fall is the best song on the whole album. Fall is just M in his element, firing shots at people, and he's just going the fuck off on it. And I personally think that it's probably the best song that he wrote in all of the 2010s, if I'm being real with you. And this is the same guy that wrote, Rap God. But an album that came out 5 years afterward, I think, actually had a better song. Now, in 2020, Eminem came out with Music to Be Murdered By, which I put in B tier. I think to start the decade off, I mean, again, he dropped it out of nowhere. And I think musically, I kind of understand the concept. Like, I actually understand it fully. Emma's taking names, taking souls, and digging holes. He brings Shady back at the very, very start of the album. He says, despite the fact that I hate you, I need you. And then we get the epic chorus followed by, a trap drum. But I think that, yeah, did it need to be 20 tracks? No, but the difference between Music to Be Murdered By and Revival is that M knew on this album when to end songs. A lot of songs are less than 3 minutes, which is, unusual for him, but he was able to get his point across on a lot of these songs in, less than 3 minutes. I don't think there's really a bad song on here. I think that Darkness is a powerful but somber song. Godzilla with, Juice WRLD's a solid song. Unaccommodating featuring Young M.A. is probably the best song on this album. Um, Leaving Heaven's pretty good. The song that I think is the is the dud, and I'm not even saying it's bad, but the song that is the dud is probably Stepdad. That's just the least interesting song to me. That or Farewell, even though I like Farewell. Um, I like all the songs on this album. Don't don't get it twisted. It's not like Revival. I like every song on this album. But I think that Stepdad and Farewell just kind of overstay their welcome a little bit. But they're not overly long and they're not, unnecessarily long. And I like it. Now, I'm gonna make a lot of people angry. But I don't know. Music to Be Murdered By, side B. I'm sorry. It's better than Marshall Mathers LP2. I mean, you start with Black Magic, which Skylar Grey gives a haunting vocal chorus. She gives a great performance on this song. And then M gets into Alfred's theme, which, dude just raps for 5 fucking minutes. He doesn't even stop. And it's funny because remember when Billie Eilish said that Eminem gave her nightmares as a kid? He literally said, "I'm giving nightmares to Billie Eilish. I'm the side bitch." But then he turns it around and says, "Wait, what? Oh, I'm still East Side, bitch." Like what, bro? What? And I mean, I loved Higher. I loved Nat. They were pretty solid songs. I loved Killer. I loved She Loves Me. Zeus was fucking great. But I think the reason that I put this album so high up is because of the ending song, Discombobulated, the last canon song to the Eminem story so far. It sounds exactly like Relapse. Up to the, just everything. Just go and listen to it. It sounds exactly like Relapse. Like, no lie. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. And I really, 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 really am interested to see where M can go from here. Because if we do get Relapse 2, I think that Discombobulated is the perfect way to, enter into a new era. But there we have it. Like I've said, Eminem is my favorite artist. He's my favorite rapper. And I love him. And nothing's ever going to change that. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching, I guess, / listening. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And make sure to hit the bell for all of the notifications. And until next time, RG out. Peace.